we've come to Blickling Estate. This is a magnificent National Trust property. We've got a beautiful, glorious blue sky today. So the house was built, excuse me, from 1616. The Jacobean mansion and its impressive history can be explored throughout the year. It was actually gifted to the National Trust by Philip Kerr, and he was the 11th Marquis of Lothian in 1940. The garden covers 55 acres and has something for every season, and we'll be wandering around them as well at a later date today. But as you can see, this property is absolutely stunning. It looks like it's in 3 fairly major chunks. So as we're walking up today, this is on the left hand side, so that's the first wing, and then the actual main part of the house straight in front of us, and then we have the right hand side is the other wing. I hope you enjoy joining us today as we have a look around this fabulous estate. So the house doesn't open until 11 o'clock, so we're going to go and have a look through this gap in the hedge, which should lead us to the gardens because they're open at 10 o'clock. So that was a red herring because that's just for staff and volunteers, so looks like we'll have to head round this way.
Round at the end.
So we'll go through at this corner. There's a gap through the arches to get through to the gardens. Happy days! So it looks like this is the main building and this is the side of it, showing how far back it does actually go. So the front of it is quite a narrow sort of facing, and then it drops down but does go back a long way. Well, they've got some pretty magnificent chimneys to this place. That's a pretty magnificent fountain. Not working today, unfortunately, but it's still really impressive. Well, the previous owners, I suppose, and the current owners, if there are any, lots of different views of the estate. A little secluded area where the sundial is, and a little seating area.
Really right, 11 o'clock. And around that side.
Yeah, so it is 11 o'clock.
A big tree.
Yeah, an oak tree, but it's grown tall and thin, isn't it, because it's got other trees around it, I suppose. They all grow differently, don't they, depending on what they've got round them, I suppose. Lots of poppies, poppy seeds. So we're just coming up to the back of the house. It'll be interesting to see if it's sort of hollow inside, which a lot of these stately homes are, because obviously if they're solid, there's only certain rooms that are going to get the windows, so then you get an inner courtyard. You can see the true size of it, it really is massive. Yeah, probably the east side, and then just across there there's a lake. Probably bigger than it looks actually on the film. Actually, oh, they've filled the moat in then.
Yeah.
So it looks like they've filled all of the moat in all the way around the house. And laid it down to lawn, which is quite nice really. Probably easier to look after. And probably helps to keep the house dry as well. So don't need to fortify it at the moment because I don't think it's going to get invaded anytime soon. Let's go and have a bit closer look over here at the lake. There's nobody fishing. A few wild geese on there. That's really lovely. I'd love to have a small, well, a pond really, I suppose, at home. I think at some point we've got plans to build some sort of pond within the trees for the wildlife. Obviously that's a massive lake which is full of wild geese. Obviously then you've got to play dodge the goose poo because they don't always stay in the water. And now this is the other side of the house, the west side.
This is the west garden.
Oh, so this is the west garden. There's not a lot of garden there. So now we're going to just go and have a look in the house. But what I'll do is I'll do that as a separate video and then people can decide if they want to see in the house or whether they just want to see the grounds. So we're going towards the entrance of Blickling Estate, the house. This is the old moat area, we assume. Oh wow, look at the door. 1620 it says on that door. Big old oak door. I think it's 5 stories high with the attic space.
I didn't know where to.
We've got one of these, not quite as big as this one though. Another grandfather clock. So this is Philip Henry Kerr, and he was the 11th Marquess of Lothian, and he gifted the house to the National Trust in 1940. So apparently Anne Boleyn was born here. So we've got Henry VIII. Didn't expect to see that here. Oh wow. this is a bit magnificent. Yeah, that's what you call a dining room.
Only holds 10.
Yeah. Sorry?
Only holds 10, only
8. This is one where you put all the extra leaves in. It's one big table.
My wife wasn't Anne Boleyn, and she was beheaded.
Yeah.
But Queen Elizabeth was a daughter.
Ah, Elizabeth the
Then
First.
obviously became Queen Elizabeth the First.
So this was the last Marquess who left, gifted the house to the National Trust. What's this room then? Part of the servants area, yeah. The sink was made from elm. Oh, it was a serving room. So this was the butler's pantry. We can't actually go in there, but we can have a look. So these are the servants' quarters by the look of things, and this is the kitchen.
It's one into the right off the drive colour.
Oh wow, this is vast. It's a big room. God, look at that table. I would like to play to tripe. Yeah, this is the servants' staircase. I bet they climbed these stairs many times. And that's going through to probably going up to their attic rooms, maybe. Oh, that's the entrance that we came in. Yeah. So this is known as the print room. I think you can see why quite clearly. Oh, that's this great staircase.
Good morning, welcome.
Staircase gallery. So that looks like that's the tour of the house finished. I hope you enjoyed it. I think we've only been able to see through quite a small portion of the rooms that are actually in the house. But yeah, it's a massive house. So we're back outside now, so we're going to just have a look in the bookshop. Apparently they've got a massive bookshop, and then they've also got an RAF museum. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see in any of this, either of these two wings at the side, so whether or not they're just not, they look like they're being lived in, to be honest, so maybe they're being rented out privately.